guys, so this video has been a long time coming, and for my dear friend Blushing Pixie, who was waiting for this video probably for like a year or something. I bought Hakuhodo Brushes quite a while ago, and I know that she wanted to watch my video before she too invested in Hakuhodo, but of course I took so bloody long that she went ahead and got her brushes and a review and the whole shebang way before I did. So I really apologize for those of you, and specifically to her, for having to wait so long. But as I said many times, I love these brushes, but none of them are numbered or you know, have anything on them, save for the orange handled brushes. So it just takes a heck of a lot of work, which I just did not have the time to do until now. So again, I really apologize. Right, so on to it. Hakuhodo brushes. So the name Hakuhodo actually means White Phoenix Company. I don't know where I came about that information, but throughout all this time I was actually compiling research so I could do this video properly. I'm sure I'm going to miss things here and there, but I tried to jam as much information as humanly possible. So I have 12 of their brushes. I think I ordered maybe 6-7 of them online. I think the first batch I got a few, and then I did another one online, and then finally I grabbed 4 or 5 through the IMATs when it came through town. So I found that the US site, they don't have one in Canada, but the US site was really easy to navigate. I think the shipping was pretty reasonable. It wasn't like $40 or $50. I think, you know, it's so far back. I think there might have just been a flat of maybe 15, somewhere around there, maybe 8 to 15, or they actually just charged me the price of shipping. But either way, I know that it wasn't exorbitant, or I would not have done it a few times, because I can't stand when people gouge you for shipping. I mean, these are brushes, they don't weigh that much. They really shouldn't be costing you $30 or $40. So I don't have a lot of comparisons, say, to the Yachio brushes, which I've been coveting and wanting for so long, but honestly, I just refuse to pay the markup that's online right now at a couple of the Asian websites. They're so, like, triple what you would get. I don't have friends in Japan or who are going to be going to Japan to get me any, and I did think that I kind of struck gold because I knew that Selfridges carried them, so I actually called the UK, and their brushes were reasonably priced. So I was like, okay, you know, here I go, I'm finally going to get my hands on them. The only problem is that if you did not order, I think, 800 pounds, or, you know, tantamount to $1,000 or something, they would have to charge you shipping. If you spent over that amount, you would get free shipping. So, quite frankly, I was not willing to spend $1,000. And the shipping itself, I think, was 80 pounds, which works out to about $160 for shipping. So I just went, okay, forget it. You know what? It's just not meant to be. So I can't compare them to the Yachio ones, but they are a standalone brand. I believe there are 6 or 7 in the series. There's one that is only available in Japan. Now, fude it really just means brushes. And they facilitate many different brands, as well as traditional brushes that you would use for pottery or for painting. You can see videos online on YouTube. I've also, when I purchased my brushes at IMATs, they gave me a DVD to watch. I did watch that as well. It was really fascinating. So they showed you all the different ways that their brushes are used, and different companies that they make for. They obviously make their own brushes under their own label as well. So I have, I think, 3 different 4 different series or so. So I will go through them. And in the below bar, I will kind of go in order so that if you want to refer back to them, obviously all the numbers that I'm going to put in, if you just search them in the bar, it'll pull up exactly the brush I'm talking about. So it shouldn't be too difficult for you to try and find the brush that matches the one in this video, blah, 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 blah. It is going to take a little bit of work on your part just because there's so many brushes. And you're going to have to type in each one. It's not like I can go crease brush here, smudge brush here, you know what I mean? So I wish it was that case, but honestly, none the matter. Right, so here we start. I will start off. I only got one of these brushes here with the orange. It's the traditional vermilion handle. That color is very traditional in Japan. It has 24 karat gold plating, and I believe there's a clear film on top of that to protect that gold plating. This series is dedicated to the owner's wife, which is why her name is on the bottom, and hence the white phoenix bird that you see there, which is what Hakuhodo means. So her name is Masako. So all of these particular brushes have that white phoenix and her name stamped on them. They're beautiful, beautiful brushes. I only have the one, so you know, I can't go too in depth. And this actually does have a number. So this is the S133, and it is made of Canadian squirrel. Yay, go Canucks. Okay, so this is a very, very soft brush, like really soft. Some people are not going to like how soft this is. I find that I personally prefer ones with a little bit more stiffness in the brush for a lay down in terms of color, if I'm using a dark color. This brush I use with all of my sort of base shades, you know, whether it's in cream like vanillas or you know, my pale barley from Burberry, any sort of wash of color. I use this all the time, and it's beautiful. It's very, very soft and gorgeous, and as you can see, it splays out quite a bit. So very, very soft. So very great to just do a wash of, you know, a cream or light base color. So I love that. The next brush, I believe that this is quite pricey. I don't remember exactly how much these brushes are because it has been such a long time, but this is in sort of the pricier range. The next I got is in the Kokutan series, which is, again, is also the sort of more pricier range, and I got 3 of them, and these all, the way you can tell is that they actually have an ebony handle. And the thing about these brushes, I mean, for me, I have so many brushes. I've been collecting them for 20, 30 years or whatever. Oh no, that would make me 10, 12. Okay, so 20 years, some odd, something like that. And I have like a gazillion brushes, 100 of them. So it's not like I'm going to use all of them on my face, even though I have a huge melon. You know, I cannot encompass 100 on my face. But these really are collections to me, something that I collect that will last me a lifetime. I showed a video where I have a MAC brush when their numbers were like 36 and 24 and stuff, and they were made in France, and they still look perfect and in perfect condition. So these will last you a lifetime. And the thing with these ebony handles is the more you touch them, the more your own oils gets on them. They just get more lustrous and more beautiful. So I really, really wanted to get a few of this series. Again, it has the white phoenix. This one is the MLL, let me see here, it's a bit confusing. I believe this is the large, the W, I'm not sure. This one, I'm so sorry guys, you know, it's so confusing to me. W, I think this may be the L, or maybe this is the L. And then this is the WM. Good Lord, I thought I had this all figured out, but these 3 are a little bit confusing to me. Anyways, they will be in the below bar. It's either the Kokutan Eyeshadow L, the Eyeshadow MLL, or the Eyeshadow WM. So I'm sorry, but as soon as you look those up, you'll know which one's which. So this is a flat lay down brush. As you can see, it's quite stiff comparative to the other orange handled brush. I love this. This is fantastic. You can see the great thing about Hakuhodo, their philosophy is that the part of the hair that they use is the very, very tip of the hair of whichever animal that they're using, because they believe that that is where the hair is the absolute softest. So whereas other brands may cut their hairs, they actually use the very, very tip, and each one is handmade. And you can see in the video that they go through each one and kind of discard all the little hairs that they don't deem appropriate enough. And then they actually, the only time it's cut is when it's actually in the ferrule, just to trim it in there. But this is all the tips of the hair. That's why they are so, so soft. So there's that. This one, again, is very, very soft. It doesn't have a lot of flex to it. As you can see, it's very soft and bendable, so it's not really very stiff. Again, I do this with a wash of, say, powder. If my lids are a little bit tacky and I want to have that really dry base, I sort of just swoosh it with powder over my eyes. You know, you could do a little bit of powder underneath. I don't necessarily use this for eyeshadow. This one I use basically for powdering my T-zone. It's actually, you could use it as a contour, even though it says that these are eyeshadows, brushes, and you can use it for blush if you want. It's sort of multi-purpose there, or a really huge wash of color, because some of us Asians, myself in particular, have this like humongous amount of space there between my lid to my brow. So to use a small brush to just do a huge wash is just so time consuming. So this would just go right there. Again, powdering, contouring, eyeshadowing. Okay, the next is the the K016, and that's an eyebrow brush. And it's this little, and it's made of black pig, and it's very stiff, like really, really stiff. It's like harder than hard. So I actually bought this because of my Chanel powder, because that also has a very, very stiff brush that comes with it. So I thought I would get one to make it really comparable and do light little strokes there, like so. So if you want a very, very stiff brow brush, that is it. The next is, and again, I'm going sort of down so that it's easier for you guys. I'm kind of going in order as the way it is down there. So the next is the blush brush, is G503. So this is in the G series, and this is made of goat and horse. This brush, and it's the blush brush L angled. It's so soft. It's unbelievably soft. I just realized I had the fan going the whole time. Sorry guys, yikes. Hopefully you can hear that, or hear me over the fan. And it's incredibly soft. As you can see, it angles right in there. I actually use it as a blush. I don't really use it to contour. I know it is a blush brush. When you see it, you think, oh, contouring. No, I actually use it like this, like that, like that. I use it in all different ways depending on the blush that I'm using, the product that I'm using. It's beautiful. It is so soft. The reason why I got it is I had seen a Chanel brush at the counter. They weren't available for sale. I don't know why that is. And I was looking for a dupe, and I saw this online, and I said, I will definitely get this. Well, then my lovely, lovely friend Frankie from Love to Love 78 or something, sorry Frankie, tracked down that Chanel brush in Portugal of all places or something and sent it to me. This is the one that I used at a Chanel counter. I wanted it so badly. They didn't have it anywhere. It took a year. I finally got it. This brush blows away. This brush. This brush's hair is so scratchy and hard. I guess they meant for it to be that way. They certainly didn't need to, but it is so scratchy and hard on my face. I rarely use it, and I feel so bad that Frankie went through all of that to get that for me. This is the softest brush you will, oh, it's amazing. For this shape and how stiff it is and how dense it is, it's incredibly soft, and I love this, and I use this for many, many, many different blushes. Okay, the next is, it's a B214 BKSL, good Lord, and this is a little rounded highlight brush, and it's made of goat. And this, I found a lot of people using this for concealer, and it does work fantastic for that. You know, I know that Real Techniques has this little rounded brush. That's a synthetic. This is the natural version. It's a little bit bigger than Sam's brush, but I don't necessarily use it for concealer. I use it for a highlighting pen, like the Clinique highlighting pen that I love. I will just, you know, put that in areas, you know, where you need a little bit of highlighting, and then I'll come in and use that, and it's fantastic for that. It's obviously meant to be used anywhere that you need to use a highlight, and I'm sure you can find many, many different ways to use any of these brushes, but that's what it says, that it's a highlight round brush. Okay, the next one is a B524 BKSL. And this is an eyebrow brush L large angled, and it is made of water badger. So that is one heck of a big brow brush. I got this one at IMATS. He told me Naomi Campbell loves using this. I don't know if that was a huge selling point, because as gorgeous as she is, she's kind of a train wreck. But anyways, I was a little bit nervous because I'm so used to using, you know, like light feathery strokes, and this is just like one heck of a brush. And I didn't think it would necessarily work with my Chanel brow kit. It works phenomenal with it. I thought I would need a really, really stiff brush. This is very soft. I mean, it's firm, but it's very soft compared to that black, to the Black Pig one, which is just like bristles, like very, very stiff bristles. This is actually quite soft and yet firm. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Maybe because we Asians have different hairs on our brows. It's very, very sparse. There's just a weird sort of texture to it. This works great for an Asian brow. With powder, it literally goes shh, shh, like a few strokes, and this little leg part, you just do one stroke and it's on. It's amazing. It's sort of antithetical to sort of the westernized version of putting on your brow, which is in, like, you know, little mini strokes. You see Lisa Eldridge do that a lot. This, I don't know. I noticed that a lot of Asian brow products have this sort of slanted, long sort of space for your brows. My shoe pencil comes sharp in that way, in that traditional Japanese way, where it's sort of not a point. It's actually a long wedge. And for us, it just works really, really beautifully. So that's an interesting brush. I wanted it because it was different. It was different than what I usually have. So, right, the next one, let's try and click through these a little bit faster, is a G5521 BKSL. And this is a eyeshadow brush. Oh, no, wait a second. Sorry, it's a G5521 BKSL. It's a highlight pointed brush made out of blue squirrel and goat. That's a beautiful, beautiful brush. I use it for contouring, for highlighting. So soft, amazingly soft. Has a lot of give. You know, still keeps its shape relatively. It's a gorgeous brush. And what I will say about this G series, they're so well made, and I would say the price point is even less than MAC, because MAC, in the last 10 years or so, they are not the same brushes at all in my mind. In fact, the quality has really kind of gone downhill, even though I heard rumor says that Hakuhodo actually makes MAC brushes. I don't know if that's necessarily true, or if they're continuing to do that, because I do know that they have moved manufacturers a few times. I just found the quality is kind of not that great for that price point anymore, and these are actually less than MAC brushes, and the quality surpasses them like you would not believe. So that's a beautiful little highlight brush. The next one is a G5527 BKSL, and that is this pointed eyeshadow brush made out of Canadian Squirrel. This brush is so gorgeous. When I use, if I do say a very naked eye where I just have a light base and just contour and that's it, you know, and some eyeliner of course, but if I just do that sort of really natural where I'm just going through the natural contours of my eye, when I just dip that into a shadow and go into it, the way that that is hand done, if you can see how precise all those little hairs go into that angle, it blends it out for you. You don't get this like streaky line, you get a really soft diffuse, but it's so precise, it goes right into that crease. That brush is gorgeous, it's beautiful. Again, part of that G series that's less than a MAC brush. The handles are beautiful, I mean everything about them is just gorgeous. Okay, the last two is the Yachio Pointed L, and that's made of goat. I love this brush. I don't have the NARS to compare it to. I heard the NARS is a little bit rougher, but I love this brush because it literally is that. The way that these hairs are angled, you know, you're not putting like one huge dot. When you do this, it kind of puts the powder on sort of like that, if you can see, where there's tiers of it. So you're getting different levels of that color, which splays that out. And then, you know, once I do that, that's sometimes enough. I don't even have to blend because it just diffuses it so beautifully and you put it right where you want to. You can traditionally do that. You could use it on its side. You could use it in different ways depending on the product, depending how pigmented that is, you know, how much work you need to blend that particular powder, but it's fantastic. I love, love, love this brush. Well, I love them all, quite frankly, if you couldn't tell. And then the last brush is a J4006. The J series is brand new to the West. I got that at IMATS. They were just introducing the J series. So it's maybe not brand new because that was maybe 6-7 months ago or maybe even a year ago. So, but I think it's the latest one, and that is a Lash brush. And the reason why I picked some of these brushes is I just don't have anything in my collection like that. You know, like the long brow brush, the little tiny brow brush, that pointed eyeshadow brush. I don't have a lot of brushes like that. You know, everyone's got sort of a lay down and then a blender or even like a pointed crease. But I wanted to get something that was sort of different. And this, you would put mascara on it and then literally draw it onto your eyelashes to get that really separated look. I think that for me, I don't tend to use it that much. My eyelashes are sort of on the skimpy side. You know, I was not blessed with beautiful long lashes. Somebody who is would really, I think, benefit from that, or who would actually really benefit from this are ladies who, or men, who have long lower lashes, because you can paint each one or go right at the root and then sort of bring it out. But again, I wanted it just as a different brush that I will use, you know, when the occasion calls for it. It may only be a couple of times in the year, but I'm glad that I have this little brush. You know, it wasn't that expensive at all. So there you go right there. Gorgeous. So that's it for the collection. Those are the 12 brushes. I hope you will find it somewhat easy to navigate the site and find which brush corresponds with what in the ones that I've shown. Again, they're all handmade in, I can't remember exactly what the location, but it's near Hiroshima. And they are beautiful, beautiful brushes, and they have all price points, from less than MAC all the way to, you know, really relatively quite pricey. Although I haven't seen one quite that Suku price range, although there may be a few in that. But if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to try and answer them. And I hope you found this helpful. And again, I'm so sorry it took so long, but it's finally out. So yay! I'll see you guys soon.